So they're just starting game 2 on Riz's channel. We're starting game 1 over here between Daniel and Rezears. 2 games on European servers, 3 games following that on US East servers. Well, let's see if they'll be needed. Daniel is known as one of the best away server players that NA has ever produced. Probably the best away server player that NA has ever produced. And he starts off strong with a flip reset, threat of a bump, forcing Rezears to miss the save. Bobadine, thanks for the 10-month Prime, by the way. Welcome back to the channel. Also, D Blue needs help, thanks for the Prime. Galix Jackson, thanks for the 4-month Prime. AGX Jet, thanks for the 2-month Prime as well. Jaws00115, thanks for the Prime. And Zarks Gaming, thanks to the 6-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel to you also. It's been a while since I mentioned, but as you can see at the bottom left of your screen, this tournament is sponsored by Chalkcast. That's been made possible by all of the generous supporters of the Chalkcast Patreon and also the avid listeners of the Chalkcast podcasts, which you can check out on YouTube, Twitch VODs. You can listen to Apple Music or Spotify. I think anywhere that podcasts exist, you can listen to it. And yeah, one of our goals at the most recent event at the World Championship was to hit 500 subscribers on Patreon. And our promise was that if that happens, we will organize an event with Chalkcast funding. And here it is. Pretty quick turnover for that. Thankfully, we had a nice window between Worlds and Gamers 8 where a lot of the top ones players are active. And this is the result. I think probably the most stacked 1v1 tournament in Rocket League history. That's always going to be up for debate when players like Zen, TRK, Jarias are not listed. I think that really goes to show how strong the 1v1 scene is right now, that you can have such legends omitted. Vatira as well, of course, he's a monster. And yeah, you can still call it, I think, the most stacked tournament ever. Now, Rezears is the underdog of this group. Group D is a group that Daniel is favoured in. And Chronic and Naupor, I think, expected to be beating Rezears as well. Rezears is the underdog of the group, which is insane. He's, you know, a guy who's been fighting for top 3 and pretty consistently top 4 in EU before Zen came along. Yeah, he's up against it here early on and rising to the occasion. Already a goal ahead against Daniel on the home server game. A must-win game 1 for Rezears. He's overextended here. Nice counter-attack by Daniel, just escaping the attempted demo from behind. Chronic is the underdog? I don't think so. I think Chronic's recent performances put him above Rezears in my personal rankings. RLJules.gg would agree as well. It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of form he comes in to this group with, though. I mean, today's been all about the upsets. So we had Farskiller swept by CRR. Nas also swept by CRR. Those are both upsets and convincing ones. And then, of course, we had Farskiller losing to Atto as well. I would say that's a small upset these days. So it's a good day to be hunting for an upset, it would seem. Rezears is definitely on track for this first game. The big mind game on Daniel there. It doesn't lead to a goal, but the boost steal will put Daniel in a very awkward position. Rezears floor pinch, defended well by the American. Where's Ruas? Ruas is in the playoffs already, undefeated. He went 6-0 in his group. CRR, likewise, 6-0. Moxie, I believe, dropped 2 games in Group A, so the winner of this group, Group D, will be playing against Moxie in the first match tomorrow for the playoffs. And if it goes according to seeding, that'll be Daniel versus Moxie, but we'll have to wait and see. So Rezears is already giving Daniel quite a lot to think about, and this is only round 1. It's a clever 50-50 by Daniel. They're not hitting the ball straight back into Rezears, playing it to space, and now he's in a bit of space. He's completely fumbled it as he gives Rezears an easy goal. I didn't expect Daniel to drop that reset so low in front of the goal. Usually you can guarantee Daniel will be flying high with flip reset plays. That was extremely lackluster for him. Was Ruas versus Zen the greatest 1v1 ever? I think probably, yeah. I think it was most likely, sorry, that was tab that I had open, just started playing audio for some reason. Yeah, I think Ruas versus Zen was probably the highest level 1v1 that we've ever seen. And that's likely to change in the next few months because everybody's leveling up. Look at Rezears, by the way. That is just... that's completely unstoppable. He's clipping on Daniel right now. Now, Rezears is the player who chose the server order here. He lost the coin flip for server advantage. But he picked EU server first. And if he can get the win here, if he can get the win in the next game, then that puts a ton of pressure on Daniel because Daniel has to win 3 straight. Yes, he'd have the server advantage in all 3 games, but you still have to do what you're supposed to do. That's 8-3 now. Rezears running away with game 1. Ceiling challenge bounces into Daniel's top corner. The 9th goal will probably put this into forfeit territory for Daniel. Rezears is in form. How is the now Pochronic series going? I think they probably are coming to a conclusion in game 2 over there on Riz's channel. Now Daniel trying to raise the bar as we come to the end of game 1. Rezears no doubt wants 10 goals on him, and he might get it here. Sorry, with the mind game, Daniel denies him on that occasion. Now here comes Rezears again. Flip reset at ceiling height, make it a double. Looks like he might have not have got that second one though, as Daniel gets away with the ball and scores a 4th goal to make the scoreline look a little bit prettier. So Chronic's showing up for NA. First Killer struggling, Daniel struggling, but Chronic showing up huge. Maybe Chronic can be the chosen one for NA today. Oh, Daniel. He wanted the pogo. I love Daniel's commitment to practicing pogos at show matches. He's never really pulled one off to Dark's level yet, but he's working on it. He's working on it. Alright, we'll just say go, because that's an immediate no problem from Daniel with no time to waste. If a player says no problem before the countdown starts, then I'm perfectly happy letting the game play. And I know they're as eager as we are to get this one started. Still a chance for Daniel to break this server advantage here. You lost game 1, but you don't need to win both of the away server games. Just putting one past your opponent puts immense pressure on them, especially when you get the server advantage already. I mean, if Daniel could win this game, then Rezears will have to win 2 on US East, which is a whole lot harder than just getting 1. Nice turnaround there by Daniel. Good speed to beat Rezears to the punch. Oh, Rezears was not able to grab the back corner boost there. Tried to fly on top of it. Rezears challenging Daniel's aerial superiority. That's not a bad outcome. He missed the ball, but he was able to clatter Daniel a fair distance. Oh, what a flick. Daniel lofts one over Rezears from an angle I don't think Rezears expected. He must have thought that's a mind game when Daniel delayed his flick by that degree. But it goes right under the bar and right over Rezears. Daniel steals the mid boost away. He's got Rezears in a tricky position again. Trips him up, but not too much. Rezears shrugs off that bump attempt. And notice how he's using ball cam there to see around the ball. It's something that top players are doing a lot more these days. They're not just automatically turning off ball cam when they're dribbling. Oh. Well, nice recovery there by Daniel. Huge mistake by Rezears, though. I don't know how he missed this one. Oh, dear. Well, he's nowhere near. And even the trip onto Daniel was not able to save him. Quathale, thanks for the prime. Welcome to the channel. Ceiling double by Daniel into the reset. And the top shelf slot in off the bar. Daniel's leveled up for game 2. And so far, we have no answers from the German. The fake ceiling challenge did nothing to mess with Daniel's approach. And he so far has made it look all too easy to score all these goals. And is this going to be another one coming? Rezears forced back again. Double reset by Daniel. Not really connecting with the second dodge onto the ball. It looks like Rezears might be about to get on the score sheet. Yes, he is. A tidy outplay in the midfield. Did Chronic take game 2 against Naupo as well? Now, hold on a second here. Rezears, completely undeterred by Daniel's game 2 dominance, starting to rack up some impressive goals of his own. Chronic might sweep. Look at Chronic go. See, a lot of people are saying Naupo's the favourite in this group. I disagree. I think Daniel's the favourite, and Chronic Naupo is a close match on paper. Chronic actually dominating by the size of things. I think Naupo lost a series to Jack yesterday on Newa's channel. I think he got swept, if I remember correctly. So if he loses by another sweep, that would be 0-6 since becoming Falcons Naupo. It's a big wall shot for his ears, one that Daniel would not have caught up to. Luckily he didn't have to, it was off target. That's a tidy reset by Daniel, stopping Razier's momentum. And a pretty critical one as well, because Rezears was starting to get going here. Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that Naupo's got 90 ping, Chronic has 20 or something like that. I know, I'm aware that Chronic's in Europe and Naupo's in the Middle East, but you know, Naupo's entire ones career has been played on European servers with that exact ping disadvantage, so it's hardly going to be news. It shouldn't really be news to anyone. Can Daniel catch up to this? No, he can't. An attempted recovery fails because Rezears can simply hit the ball harder than a Rocket League car can travel. Yeah, news came through yesterday. Naupo's replaced Khaled for Gamers 8. I don't think I don't know if it's been confirmed whether it's a one-time thing or a long-term thing, but Ahmad's tweet makes it sound as if it's a long-term thing. So Ahmad tweeted something like 5 years together as teammates. It's time for us both to look for new challenges. Khaled is more than a teammate to him. He's a brother and he wishes him nothing but the best. I'm sure that's true, but it makes it sound as if the roster move is more of a long-term thing, not just Gamers 8. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. You never know how Gamers 8 is going to go for Falcons. They've elevated themselves to an even more hyped position. Daniel's missed that. That was a great attempt, but the pre-flip goes wide. Rezears could put him in a very precarious position here. He can get one more goal. Daniel's early pre-jump does not stop Rezears, who pauses for just a moment mid-air before blazing past Daniel again. The pre-jump just flailing helplessly. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's also been no announcement about Khaled playing for another team at Gamers 8 or anything like that. I'm not sure if it's possible this close to the event to make any changes. Who do I think will be the defensive core for Falcons now that Khaled is gone? I don't think that teams necessarily need a defensive player. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions in the Rocket League scene. So that every team needs a defensive player. You don't need a defensive player, you just need everybody to be on the same page. And oftentimes having a defensive player makes it easier to be on the same page because everybody knows that there'll be somebody back the majority of the time. So it kind of makes the game easier if you've got one. But, you know, look at Vitality. Who's the defensive player on Vitality? They don't really have a defensive player. You know, most of the time it's probably Zen who's furthest back, but show me anyone in the world who's describing Zen as a defensive player. I mean, he's very aggressive and yeah, not a traditional third man by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of people saying Radosin. It's not. I mean, it's not obviously not Radosin. Radosin's just the first man for the team. But you know, Vitality have not got very clearly defined roles. What a shot by Rezears. He has resoundingly come back here to beat Daniel. That's a great finish with the pinch to put this one beyond all doubt. Daniel's going to need a reverse sweep. He's going to be on USC servers to try and do it, but this is not the start that he hoped for, no doubt. Expected one game at least from the 2 EU server games. If we get Daniel versus Naupo in the elimination round, that is insane, by the way. Absolutely insane. I don't think we will. I think even from a position like this, Daniel is probably still the favorite. But we'll have to wait and see. Can Rezears get a game on US East? No, I don't think he's going to like that one. Won't get better, he says. Okay. Usually I'd expect a player with 124 ping to at least try and 50-50 one time. But hey, he says it's fine. It's fine. Best you can get at US East is 110. That's really high. That's pretty high for Germany. Very unlucky there. But Rezears is going to give it a go. 124 ping against Daniel. He's got 3 attempts to win 1 game. Triple match point to the German. He's done, well, I don't even want to call it the easy bit, but he's won the EU server games, which is not easy against a player like Daniel. Don't forget, Daniel has taken EU server games against the likes of Rawas, Zen, apparently Jack. Many top-tier EU players have dropped EU server games to Daniel. So the fact that Rezears has beaten him twice should definitely be impressive. Yeah, why is his ping so bad? That's very bad. He nearly took a lead there with the wall shot. Is it just a Germany thing? Is Germany internet just terrible when you're connecting to the US? What is Daniel doing? That's wide open for Rezears. And I think he's missed it. He has missed it. That was not the play though. Daniel is caught out of position, and Rezears surely now will take the lead. Well, Daniel has made a couple of mistakes back to back there. One, centering the ball for his opponent in 1v1, and secondly, getting caught grabbing boosts in the corner. Rezears is so lucky. Sounds like copium to me. What is he lucky about? Lucky that Daniel gave him the ball? You don't need to cope just yet. I think Daniel's fine. He's fine. He can afford to make a couple of mistakes. It's a nice interception by Rezears. Did not land on the back corner boost though. It gives Daniel the next play on the ball as well. It's a very direct dribble, but he didn't need an angle, because Rezears overestimated exactly what was coming towards him. Need to see what Rezears did here. Oh yeah, he just got the timing all wrong. Thought Daniel's going to make another touch. What do I mean by fine? Well, I mean he's got 3 games in a row of 28 ping against 124 ping Rezears. So if you're a fan of Daniel and you think he's a better 1v1 player than Rezears, you should for sure have confidence that he's going to win 3 games in a row with this kind of ping advantage. I am, but we'll see. Rezears has played very well today. It's not going to be easy, but I think Daniel is still the favorite from here. That's the second time he's been dead in the back corner though, and it's the second time. No, not the second time actually. I take it back. Rezears denied the goal this time around and could not get the boost on spawn either. Oh, that's a great try. Daniel had a recovery as well. Okay, so far he's played like Daniel should. He's had explosive offense and creativity aplenty. But Rezears is surviving in these games. And at some point in both the games before this, surviving became thriving, as Rezears ran away with game 1 and 2. Oh, what a goal, Rezears! With a slow air dribble into the reset and then into the dunk on the goal line. I mean, when you're on the ball, it doesn't matter what ping you've got. That's what Rezears has to be focusing on. Fake kickoff from Rezears. Nets him another possession to play with, and he's back on the ball. He goes underneath Daniel again. It's an underdunk as Daniel dove in early, probably expecting an air dribble bump. Look at that. Daniel was trying to play the ball, thinking Rezears would be flying past it. But Rezears was behind the ball and forced it right through him. Big kickoff win for Rezears. He could trip up Daniel here. He has, and he scored again. Well, this is an incredible performance from Rezears. We had CRR sweeping first killer earlier, but this would be even more unbelievable. Daniel has less than 2 minutes to score 2 goals. That's one though. Rezears with a big mistake. I'll be pretty annoyed that he left that one. He probably could have played the ball there. But Daniel just has to compose himself. He's up against an in-form opponent, but he has to remember he is still Daniel. He's still one of the top players in the world for 1v1, and 1v1 is historically a more predictable game mode than 3s. Top players do not lose many series to players ranked below them. Rezears is playing so quickly to match Daniel for pace with a 124 ping is nothing short of extraordinary. And not only that, he's dusted him. Absolutely no time wasted. Rezears back in front by 2 goals. The series score doesn't make a difference in this format. 3-0, 3-2. Doesn't matter. And when it comes to confidence, getting games is key. Can Daniel do that today? Shoves Rezears away from the back corner boost. Rezears looking to keep the ball in a safe position, and he's done so. In fact, nearly threatened a counter-attack. Final minute now. Daniel still trails by 2 goals. Air dribble off the back wall from distance. No reset yet. There it is. But Rezears deflects it into the corner. He's the one to recover more quickly as well. And this is composure from Rezears. He's baiting Daniel in. He does not want to overextend when he doesn't have to. In fact, it's Daniel who's overextended. Even now, Rezears isn't taking the easy goal. It's not completely clear, so he'd rather wait for a more clear-cut chance. It's Daniel off the inside of the post. He loops back around, looks for the mind game. Rezears is not having it. Just barely more than 20 seconds left. Daniel staring down the barrel of a sweep defeat. Flip reset is his. The bump targeted, but misses. Rezears is too good. He's done it. He swept Daniel. What on earth is happening to NA's best ones players today? CRR swept first killer, and now Rezears is about to do the same to the NA number 1. That's actually ridiculous. We're going to have Daniel versus Naupo in lower round 1. An all EU server match that no one expected. Well played to Rezears. What a series. The goals that he scored are goals that, you know, you hide the nameplates, anyone's going to be happy with. And now it's Rezears against Chronic in the upper final. GG's. Well played.